DurchBurch.
Hey there, everybody. So, I know it's been a while since I uploaded a thing here that's had substance. Um, that's not like an update. Real quick, I will provide one more update. Still getting internet worked out. Once again, let you know when I have more details on that. That said, exciting thing happening today is that today is the first day of the Mario Kart Tour closed beta. And I am a part of the closed beta. I got in, and I'm really excited. I've been playing it quite a bit. I played it for like an hour or so before I showered, and I had a good time. That said, I can't show you any gameplay or screenshots, so I can't I can't upload just a video of the game, as much as that would probably get me views. I'm not gonna break my non-disclosure agreement with Nintendo by doing that. But just as a little piece of proof, you can see, kind of hard to get it in focus, but there it is. That's the Mario Kart beta icon. You can see there's a little beta next to Mario, the beta. I've had a chance to play it, and it's really surprising to me how well they have adapted the controls. I completely expected the Mario Kart controls to either be like a steering wheel or like D-pad or something with like a button or two buttons that are like, non-tactile, like just buttons on the screen, similar to like most emulators and stuff that you can get on like a mobile device. Or I expected it to be entirely tilt-based, and you'd play like this, and just, race your races. But you play it, like this, and you can turn on gyroscopic steering, like you can use motion controls. But the other option is basically you just slide your hand like this to steer. It automatically steers you through the courses to some degree. Like if you let go, it'll drive straight, and then when it comes to a turn, it'll, take the turn. But you can also turn on, so I guess first, if you turn while you're doing that, you can change how sharply you're turning, you can drift, and all that. To use items, when you get them, you tap, and you can either go like that and throw it backwards, or go like that, throw it forwards, tap to do whatever the default is. But one of the more interesting things is that you can turn on manual drifting, which allows you to just go like this whenever you want, and it'll, like, as soon as you tap, it'll start a drift, and then you're like, beom, 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 and you can have these really finessed drifts, just like you can in pretty much any Mario Kart game on console. And I really like that control scheme. I mean, it's not for everyone, I'm sure there's going to be someone out there who doesn't use it, but it also gives you access to Ultra Mini Turbos, which are the purple ones that they added in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now, all of the races I've seen so far, I think, were in Mario Kart 7, which is really interesting to me to see that Mario Kart 7 seems to be a lot of what this game is based on. A lot of the karts that are available in the game seem to be based on Mario Kart 7 ones. They don't seem to have the same assets, so don't worry about that. The assets are actually better than Mario Kart 7's. They're not anywhere near the quality of Mario Kart 8, especially when it comes to shading and texture quality, but the models are still decent quality. The art style is kind of simplistic. It reminds me of Mario Kart 7 a lot, but kind of crossed with Mario Kart 8, so kind of the high model detail, but less texture detail. It's really interesting, and I think they pulled it off a lot better than I expected. Whenever you go off a ramp, it automatically does a trick, which slightly disappoints me, because kind of the whole point of a jump boost mechanic is that you trigger it, it makes you do better. And then my biggest issue I think I have so far with the game is there are no stats to your karts and your characters. Every stage has preferred karts, preferred characters, and preferred gliders. Those are the three options you have. So, say you're on 3DS Luigi's Mansion, which is in the game. The best characters are Luigi, Baby Luigi, King Boo. Those are the 3 best characters you can use. Those 3, that's it. And when you use those 3, you get access to up to 3 item boxes. You hit one item box and you get all 3, which is really nice. It gives you also the opportunity for a new mechanic called a Frenzy, which is if you get 3 of the same item by luck, then when you get that, you get what's called a Frenzy, and so you get a bunch of that item for a set amount of time and basically a star. Like you can drive off terrain easily, and that's one of the other things. You can't drive off terrain in this game normally. You have to have a mushroom or a star, which makes shortcuts kind of tricky unless you have a Frenzy. That said, picking a better character gives you access to more items on the track. There's usually like 3 best characters, I think 3 to 6 alright ones that give you 2 item boxes, and then the rest of them give you 1. Then when it comes to carts, there are different speeds that they go based on the track. So if you have the right cart, you can do well on that track. And then there's 3 tiers of that as well. Then when it comes to gliders, they give you item luck. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming it shifts the likelihood that you will get like your character's signature item. I'm assuming that's what it is. Or maybe it even gives you a chance of starting the race with an item. Because I've seen races that started with some people having items and others not, and I'm thinking that that might be what it is. But it could also be potentially something that has to do with when you hit an item box, it increases the rate at which you get your character's signature item, the rate at which you get maybe things like mushrooms when you're far behind and stuff like that. That said, the races, when you play them, feel like Mario Kart races. The only difference is that they always have 2 laps. There are only ever 2 laps. There's no more than that, at least from what I've run into. There's a lot of cups in this game. There are a ton. I haven't counted, but there's a lot of them. And when you do a cup, there are 3 races. They're not always unique races, though. Some cups share races, and I think that's kind of weird to me. I'm not huge on that. I'm hoping that that's just something in the beta, and that the full release will have, unique races in every cup, or that the races available in the cups change as the tours change. Those are the only hopes I really have. I'm not big on the fact that the races are kind of limited, and the fact that I've, in the cups I've done so far, been on Luigi's Mansion twice, and Choco Plains twice, and all of these different races, like I've done them multiple times, and I'd prefer to have unique racing experiences in each cup. I also haven't seen any new races, but I'm not fully opposed to that. There have been so many races in Mario Kart history that I am 100% okay. I wouldn't care if they put every race they've ever had into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I wouldn't care if they did it with this game either. That said, when it comes to the cup system, you do 3 races and then there's a challenge. And the challenges are really, really fun. They remind me a lot of Mario Kart DS's adventure mode, I think is what it was called. It was really fun. There were boss fights, there were challenges and stuff like that, and they really evoke that game, and it's really fun. I've done one where it was staying alive and not hitting enemies on the track, and there's a lot of enemies just thrown onto the track that aren't normally there. I've done ones that are hitting a number of boost ramps, or I think there was one that was driving through rings. The first one that I did, and I'm assuming the first one that's going to be in the game when it goes live, is just getting a boost at the start of the race. The better you do, the more points you get, and then you get stuff from that. And I just saw an article recently by The Verge, and that article was that the game is full of microtransactions. And I'm just going to say this, The beta has no microtransactions. You cannot pay any money in the beta. So I just want to make that clear. And then secondly, the only thing you can do with money in the full game is buy these things called emeralds. And emeralds are what you use to pull characters. Basically, it takes 5 emeralds to get a character or a cart part, and it takes 45 to get 10. They are very generous with them early on, at least in the beta. You get maybe 10. Like, you get 10 for a while, every 10 Grand Stars, and get up to 5 of those per race for the first time you do a race in a cup. So, like, the maximum you can get is 5. So if you get 3 the first time, and then you get 5 the second time, you will get a total of 5 stars. And then you can use those every 10, they automatically give you a gift, and that gift is either 10 or 5, and then at later levels it can be as high as 15 emeralds that it gives you. So they're pretty generous with them, and characters aren't overly expensive. Also, this is still in beta, and one of the questions, because I did do one of the questionnaires, one of the questions was asking about what I thought of the rate at which you get emeralds, the price of emerald, or like the price of using pulls, like using emeralds for pulls. But also, one of the other things is, every week it looks like they're going to have featured cart parts, and maybe even featured characters at some point, that you can buy with the in-game coins. You can collect more than 10 coins per race, which is really nice. I don't know if they still boost your speed, but you can use those coins to purchase carts and characters. Granted, it's pretty expensive. You can... I think the most expensive one right now is $2,000 for the Egg 1. Or not $2,000. 2,000 coins for the Egg 1. And I think the cheapest option right now is like 1,000 coins. So it costs a lot of coins to get these, but you can get them pretty generously. And then the only other use you can use for emeralds actually is to get coins through, basically you pay for them and then you do a mode where you collect coins on Rainbow Road as Gold Mario. And there's a lot of coins. Like, I'm not kidding, I got 382 the first time I did it, and there's always a multiplier. So the minimum multiplier is 2 times, and you can only use a special ticket that you get from certain achievements or from getting to a certain number of like the Grand Stars. But you can use those coins, or like you can use those tickets to go into this coin mode, and I got like 380 something on my first run. But the ticket doubles it, so I got like 700 and some. If you use, I think it's like 10 emeralds or something like that, you can get 3 times, and if you use some more emeralds, you can get 4 times the coins. So you could literally get enough coins to get 2,000, like, you could easily get more than 2,000 coins in that mode for the price of less than 10 pulls, from what I could tell. Or at least from what I remember. So I wouldn't say that the game is laden with microtransactions or that it's chock full of them or anything like that. I'd say that they're there, but they're no worse than, like, Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go, it's no worse than that. I would say that this game uses a better system than Fire Emblem Heroes did. Because Fire Emblem Heroes, like, pulls, they got tricky for me past a pretty early point. And I wasn't happy with that. Like, you'd get free orbs every once in a while, but you wouldn't get enough to do, like, these chained pulls, which were the best ones. Also, getting duplicates in this game is not the same as getting duplicates in most gacha games. You don't actually get a duplicate of the thing that has reset stats, or it has, you know, this many stars or anything. There's no prestige to them. You just get the card, and if you get a duplicate, it gives the one you have a point to upgrading it. And then if you get another one, you get another point to upgrading it, and that basically will level up your vehicles based on your duplicates. So getting a duplicate in this game cannot be like, it's not going to fill up like an inventory you have. It will literally just make your vehicles better. or make your characters better. And I don't think that's that big a deal. I think that making your characters better is an alright solution. There's not much of a grinding feeling I've had so far. But that said, I'm still pretty early, and I'm still basically in the part of the game where they're trying to hook you. But I'm just starting to get out of that as well. And there is a system of points that you get per race, and this is probably one of my least favorite things, which is based on the cart you pick, the character you pick, the glider you pick. There's a score associated with each character. So, like, I got Dry Bowser at the start. He was a default 500 points that he would give to you, and those points are what give you the stars. Like, they give you grand stars in the end. So you could start a race with over 1,000 points if you have a character that has been used in a lot of races. You just start the race with 1,000. That said, that doesn't give you an advantage in the race. But beating the race, like doing well in the race, will give you even more points and increase your likelihood of getting, the grand stars. So I think my least favorite thing, though, is that there's not much point to mixing and matching. There's no reason to have a favorite character other than this character gives me more points if I use them by default. And then whatever, and that's only if you don't have a character who's the best on that stage, and then there's only 3 of those to pick from if you have them all. So it makes it so that most races you're stuck picking between 3 characters with 3 cart bodies with 3 gliders. And I don't think that really screams Mario Kart to me. I think Mario Kart is a game where you pick a main, and your main doesn't have to be determined by, like, effectiveness. Like, sometimes it might be, but it doesn't have to be. Like, you might just really like Luigi, so you use him in every race. Or you might just really like Donkey Kong, so you use him in every race. But this game, it makes it very specific, and I'm not fully on board with that. I don't like that it kind of hurts you for picking the same character every race. It slightly helps you, but the fact that you are limited in item boxes for not picking the right character is kind of weird. And also the fact that if you just don't like a cart body, like if you don't like how that cart body looks, or you don't like how that glider looks, you don't have a ton of options on some races, and you might have to use it. And I'm not a huge fan of that. I think that Mario Kart, especially when they added customization, became a whole lot more about being who you want to be in the cart you want to be in. Like, it came down to whether you wanted visuals or stats or whatever, but at the very end, it was always your decision completely. There was no, like, you didn't sit there and go, but Bowser on this race, I don't know. Like, it's not a thing that you do. You pick the character, then you pick the race. But in this, you pick the race, and then the character based on the race. And it just feels kind of weird. And I understand that they have to make the game work on mobile in a way that they can make money, and if they had done it in like a Super Mario Run kind of way, they probably wouldn't have made a lot. And so, like, I'm not terribly upset. I just am slightly disappointed with how that system ended up being implemented. But overall, I think that that system being how it is also makes it really easy for them to add special characters to the game. So kind of how they did for the DLC in Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you got access to, like, well, I guess it's not DLC in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came with the Inklings, but there's Link, the villager from Animal Crossing, Isabelle from Animal Crossing, and then the Inklings from Splatoon. Those characters are all not Mario, but they're all Nintendo, and I think the way they have the system right now in Mario Kart Tour, to put a new character in is literally to go, put them in, and then go, pick a few races that they're important on, put them on those races as, like, 3 stars, pick some races that are kind of tangentially maybe, put them as 2 stars, every other race put them as 1 star, so that, your item box counts vary, there's a reason to use the characters, and then you can just put the character in and be like, there's a special bonus character you get from doing well in this tour, or from participating in this tour, or from, spending gold, or from achievements, from, like, they can do any sort of thing they want to do, but I think it makes this game really easy for them to expand upon, to include new characters in, and I think that's interesting. That said, once again, all of these things I'm saying, all of these values, all of these mechanics, they aren't finalized. And while this is in beta, so I don't think they're going to be changing it a ton, I think that this is pretty safe to say that this is going to vary. This isn't going to just stay set in stone as it is now. It's going to change, it's going to develop, and by release it's going to be a different experience than it is now, at least in some ways. That said, I think I've said all I can about the game without showing you footage or without showing you screenshots, and I'm not allowed to do that. But overall, I think it's a pretty fun game. I think if it does end up being free, it's at least worth checking out. You know, whether you play it for 3 hours or 3 weeks is up to you. But I think this is probably the best of the Nintendo mobile games, at least in my eyes, and engaging me since maybe Miitomo. And it's kind of sad that it's taken this long to see another mobile Nintendo game really hold me like this. But I mean, that said, I don't know if it's held me. It just looks promising. When I played Animal Crossing, I immediately knew. When I played Fire Emblem Heroes, it was like, nah, it's pretty good. And then I played it for like a month and stopped. And it held me better than most, but still didn't hold me. So I guess this one, we'll have to see if my love for Mario Kart allows this game to hold me or not. But that said, if you like Mario Kart, if you've ever played Mario Kart, or if you just like Nintendo, I think that this game, Mario Kart Tour, is definitely worth checking out when it launches this summer. I don't know, maybe I'll release another video in a week going, this game's garbage, why, like, don't play it. But I don't think I will. I think I've enjoyed this game enough to find it interesting and worth someone's time. So, like, I do recommend this game, and if you did get into the beta, definitely check it out. If you don't know if you've gotten into the beta and you did sign up to be in the beta, make sure that you check your email, check your promotions, and check your spam. Just to be sure, like, if you have Gmail, it'll get put in promotions, guaranteed. That's what happened to me. But there's also a chance that it could end up being put into your spam. So please make sure, if you want to participate, that it's not in your spam, or if you have like a promotion thing, that it's on that. But that said, that's all I can really say. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Enjoy the outro.